Hi! Welcome to video 3 of 4 of the Growing Vegetables in Container Garden series. My name is Sally Cassady, and I am the Food Systems Specialist for New Mexico State University's Ideas for Cooking and Nutrition program. In this video, we are going to talk about the growing mixture. This is important. This is what we need to make sure is nutrient rich and will feed our vegetables to make sure they become big and healthy in the growing season, so you can then eat what that plant produces. So unfortunately, we can't just take our soil from the ground, put it in a container, and grow vegetables. It does not work well. The soil tends to compact, and it just does not work. And I'm going to explain the types of growing mixtures that you can use for containers, but before I do that, I just want to explain a little difference between regular soil and our growing mixture we use for those containers. So in our soil, we have a whole world living down there that you don't really know is happening. We have tiny microorganisms, worms, and other critters that all are working to break down the old dead matter, so our old organic matter. They eat that and they make those nutrients that were in that. So think of like an old leaf, or let's say an old carrot that you forgot to harvest. They break that down and then make those nutrients available for your new plants to take up through their roots and eat. So we have that going on, and we also our plants, it's a lot easier for them to access the nutrients that are in the soil that is regular in-ground soil. With our growing mixture for our containers, this all is not happening. It is more of a sterile environment, so there's not a lot of life or activity in there. And so we need to make sure we're setting ourselves up for success by choosing the right growing mixture, because some will work really well for our plants and be nutrient rich, and some are not. So first one that I want to go over is potting soil. Potting soil is something that you can buy from the local garden store. It works great. Just make sure that when you go, you find a bag that says potting soil, or that somewhere on that bag it says for use in containers. And I want to show you an example here. We have this bag, and you would think it says planting soil right here. It looks real nice and pretty. We have vegetables and various things on it. And so first glance, this looks great, like you could use it in containers. This is not good for our containers though. If we look down at the bottom here, it says for in-ground use. So that means this is meant to be put into the ground in your soil, and then it breaks down more for those plants to have access to those nutrients. This does not have the nutrients available if you just try to plant it in a container, put it in a container and plant in it. So do not use this. Do not use bags of soil that say garden soil, because that's meant to go into the ground. Look for potting soil, or look for use in containers. The other thing you can do if you're interested is actually create your own garden or your own growing mixture. And the ratio of that, you want to do equal parts sand or perlite, loamy garden soil, which if you don't have that, you could use potting soil, and peat moss or coconut pith. So those 3 items. So either sand or perlite, loamy garden soil, or peat moss or coconut pith. And the last thing we want to think about is we need to make sure that our growing mixture holds moisture but drains well at the same time. That really keeps our plants happy. And that is it for this video. So if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment box below. And until next time, happy gardening.